So when we were going through the process of borrowing money and getting turned down time after time after time, we would get mad. We'd get mad. Not only we didn't get mad at the banks or the investors, we got mad at the company we worked for that they didn't think we had the knowledge to understand an income statement. Now, the income statement methodology hasn't changed since 1400. All right, I mean the theory was invented by the Phoenician monks, and it's been around here since the 1400s. And it's appalling how few people even can read them to this day. All right, so we thought that if we appealed to a higher level of thinking with our people, we would get a better participation. And what happened is that they began to get the confidence that they could understand it. Okay, it was a big thing to overcome, taking somebody from the shop floor and saying, you can understand these financials, okay? You can read this balance sheet, you can read this cash flow statement. And it was bigger for me to see their eyes wide open, okay? Because I was the type of person that said, if I can learn, anybody can learn this kind of stuff, okay? It was a mountain for them to be able to climb, but we then used the process of a game. We said, look, business isn't that intimidating, okay? It's no different than Monopoly or fantasy football. You should learn how to have fun with it. You learn how to enjoy it. It's got rules and scorecards and outcomes. That's the three elements of a game. So we began this vernacular to teach people that they'd have confidence to be able to understand the metrics of a business by saying, it's just a game. Well, somebody picked that up as a real hot phrase, and all of a sudden somebody wrote an article about us, and then we went to a seminar and we were telling people about this crazy methodology of teaching hourly, salary, everybody, all our numbers, and people then started to attend and go into these classrooms, and we were trying to figure out what the heck, this isn't rocket science, it's common sense. And one person went by and saw a room full of people and came to us and said, you want to write a book on this stuff? And we said, look, we can't write sentences, let alone books, all right? We don't, we make products, this is common sense. And then she said, well, what if I give you a $75,000 advance? And we said, when do you want this book?
I'll start my first sentence now.
Yeah, right. So we collaborated with a hell of a writer, and
Bo Burling?
Yeah, Bo Burlingham. It took us 2 years to write it the way she wanted it, because she wanted in a storytelling methodology. Most business books were written in text, and she wanted us to write a story. You and I were talking across just like this, and she wanted it in print, okay? And I mean, it was a beating, for 2 years. We'd write text that wasn't good enough, she'd send it back, we'd write text. So we figured out a methodology to get our voices in it, and we just tape recorded everything. 30 hours in the front end of my bass boat, we just taped everything we could imagine. I had a great interviewer, it was agonizing, all right? And then we took it exactly how he said it. So the book reads as if it's a business book that just like you're talking to somebody, okay? So she was really smart in what she was trying to achieve. When people got the book, surprisingly, when they read it, it was a vindication of things they had in their heart. It was a strange response. The response was, I always thought this was right, but I just didn't know anybody doing it. And now that I know that some foolish group of people are doing this, now it vindicates the fact that what was in my heart. Okay, I knew that if I gave them more information, that it wouldn't hurt us. So we could get better. Okay, because at that time, they thought that if they gave information to people, they'd ask for more raises, or that they would lose their power, their authority, and they thought that the walls would come crumbling down, and the opposite happens. Okay, all of a sudden, when you share all the information, people become engaged. They feel like they make a difference because that's what they want to do, and the collaborative effort to make something great is absolutely incredible because you're going in the same direction. So the book took off and became a bestseller, a best business book. Okay, not because of the rocket science that that some people have put in these books, but more the common sense approach, saying, ooh, it's okay to do this. And so it began to grow. I mean,
it's the first book I read in college that had a curse word in it.
It's reality. Who said common sense wasn't filled with vulgar phrases? Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Now you're making me nervous. Okay. But that's how I talk. Okay, so it's part of that Catholic,
It's part of it.
Irish,
Well,
Chicago.
we've already bleeped out some of our sources. You wouldn't be the first one that cursed
Oh,
on tape.
okay.
So